In the case there is no Season 6 for the show, a thrilling online theory suggests that the crimes of Duttons might as well just catch up to them. Duttons might lose the ranch theory. While it would certainly cast a dark shadow over the series, there's a possibility that one or more Duttons could end up behind bars by the end of Yellowstone. The show has made it clear that the Dutton family will stop at nothing to safeguard the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch. But in Season 5, Part 2, their willingness to bend the law might finally come back to haunt them. Considering that John Dutton has often been portrayed as the hidden villain of the story, having him be the one to face imprisonment could serve as a fitting form of poetic justice, while also explaining Kevin Costner's exit from the series. Plus, it is not unusual for the Duttons to get arrested. A large part of the clan has been collared for one reason or another. And well, the fans have also speculated that Sheridan might want to add a bit of surprise spice at the end of the show. Sending Duttons to the jail might be one of those unexpected plot lines. However, these aren't the only ways where Duttons can lose their long-held control of the ranch. If Taylor Sheridan wants to tie all spin-offs of the show back to the crux of the allegedly last season of the show, then he might pull out a predictable trick from the party hat. When it comes to theories about how Yellowstone might wrap up, the idea of the Duttons' land being returned to the Broken Rock Reservation seems to be the frontrunner, especially since it's been hinted at in the spin-offs. Back in the series 1883, Spotted Eagle mentions that after 7 generations, the Duttons' land would revert to the Native Americans who originally inhabited it. With Tate Dutton and Jamie's son representing the 7th generation of the Dutton lineage, we're approaching the moment when that prophecy could come to fruition. If you haven't seen 1883 yet, let's recap how this prophecy might unfold in Yellowstone. In 1883, the main focus, aside from James and Margaret, is their oldest child, Elsa, played by Isabel May. Near the series' conclusion, Elsa suffers a fatal injury from an arrow during a Lakota raid. As she comes to terms with her fate, she insists on choosing her final resting place, prompting a poignant ride with her father, James, to find it. James promises that the location where she dies will be where their ranch is built. On their journey, they encounter the Crow Elder, Spotted Eagle, portrayed by Graham Greene. He suggests they consider Paradise Valley, but also delivers a striking prophecy to James about the land. He warns, "In 7 generations, my people will rise up and take it back from you." Although James isn't thinking that far ahead, Yellowstone confirms that both Tate, the son of Casey and Monica, and Jamie's son indeed represent the 7th generation of the Dutton family. This means that the fulfillment of the prophecy is looming, suggesting that the nearby tribes are poised to reclaim the land. While the exact way this will unfold in Yellowstone remains a mystery, the prediction from 1883 is clearly signaling that it's bound to happen. Given John's promise to his father to keep the land no matter the cost, it seems unlikely he would choose to sell or relinquish it easily. A fitting end for Yellowstone, at least in its current form, could see John's death lead to Tate, who has Native American heritage, inheriting the ranch. While 1883 hints at this particular outcome, showrunner Taylor Sheridan is known for his twists, so we can expect some surprises in how everything plays out. And if he really wants the prophecy in 1883 to come true, then Sheridan might look for some shocking ways to materialize it. This is why some very eagle-eyed fans of Yellowstone want you to consider one of the Duttons to be a real contender in the Who Gets the Ranch After John Dutton's War. The Casey and Tate Dutton twist. Another possible ending for Yellowstone and the Dutton Ranch may have already been hinted at through Casey Dutton's vision. In Season 4, Casey encounters a girl in white who leads him to a cliff, where he's presented with 2 challenging paths. He later tells Monica that he saw the end of us. Many fans have speculated that these 2 paths symbolize Casey's choice between his life as a Dutton and his life on the Broken Rock Reservation. Given what unfolds in Season 5, Part 1, it seems that Casey might have discovered a way to combine both worlds. However, it doesn't look like this solution will satisfy the spirit indefinitely. Ultimately, Casey may face a pivotal decision between the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch and the Broken Rock Reservation. This could shift the narrative focus onto Casey, potentially diverting attention from Kevin Costner's absence as John Dutton and explaining why the family patriarch is no longer around. His ominous comment to Monica hints at a darker future for the Duttons, leaving viewers wondering what might come next. But then there's a slightly more realistic possibility too. An intriguing twist in Yellowstone could be Tate Dutton stepping up to inherit the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, which would tie together a lot of the show's ongoing plots and prophecies. Being a seventh-generation Dutton and having indigenous roots through his mother, Monica, it would be a compelling way to merge the Dutton legacy with the prophecy hinted at in 1883. This change could really shift the focus onto Casey, Monica, and Tate, helping to fill the gap left by John's absence. It might also signal the start of a new era for the Dutton family, giving the legacy of Yellowstone a fresh and meaningful direction. Fans would likely appreciate this outcome as it brings together themes of family, heritage, and the complicated nature of land ownership in a really satisfying way. But of course, Yellowstone never makes things easy, does it? Especially when the current patriarch of the Dutton clan never backs down from a fight. The Conservation Easement Plan. Here's the thing though, John Dutton is a smart man. So even if he can't escape the prophecy, he will lose the ranch on his own terms. And this is where his Conservation Easement Plan comes in, which was hinted at in the first part of Season 5. In keeping with its title, Yellowstone Season 5 Episode 2, called The Sting of Wisdom, showcases John Dutton contemplating a conservation easement for the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, hinting that he might finally be ready to let it go. Beth's reaction is immediate and intense. She warns her father that this decision could mean losing the entire ranch. John's response, "But it will be whole," is loaded with meaning. This choice really turns the series on its head because a conservation easement essentially places the ranch under the control of the state. With this agreement, no one, not even the Duttons, would have the authority to develop, sell, subdivide, or make any changes to the land, which would be preserved in its natural state. As the newly appointed governor of Montana, John's move to place his family's ranch under a conservation easement shows that he's committed to his principles, something his supporters and adversaries have always recognized about him. This decision raises questions about whether John Dutton is truly a villain in the story. Interestingly, the act of relinquishing control of the ranch isn't entirely altruistic for the Duttons, who represent one of the most influential political dynasties in the state. As John explains to Beth, this strategy would also shield them from potential lawsuits from market equities regarding their substantial real estate development project. Now, this is one heck of an important point, and it also, very sadly, ventures into Dutton's losing the ranch. Only this time, it is a matter of a piece of paper and some signatures. Despite John Dutton's ongoing battle to retain the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, it's possible that the series could conclude with the land being sold. Throughout the series, the Duttons have been fighting off opportunistic forces, especially market equities, who have their eyes on the family land. A dark twist in the narrative could lead to these villains finally achieving their goal in Season 5. Alternatively, there's the chance that someone else could acquire the land entirely. With Matthew McConaughey officially joining the Yellowstone franchise and Kevin Costner exiting, the sale of the ranch at the end of the series could provide a fitting explanation for John's departure while also paving the way for more spin-offs within the Yellowstone universe. This would create new dynamics and storylines for future installments, keeping the franchise alive and thriving. The only problem is that the fans might just hate this ending, which will directly impact how the spin-off or the show's 6th season is received. By the looks of it, Sheridan isn't ready to finish the ranch saga just yet, so selling it off would be a lousy end for Duttons, and well, nobody wants to watch that. So it is also true that Sheridan would create audience retention by killing off one of the Duttons. That sort of tragedy would stick, and it'll nicely venture into the most potent question in the show. Who gets to keep the ranch after John Dutton is either jailed or dead in the Yellowstone universe? Either Jamie or Beth will die theory. Here's the thing. It would be a bit of an overkill if Sheridan ends up killing not one, but two members of the Dutton clan. Killing John Dutton is an obvious choice, of course. But if the family is about to take a double hit, the show might become way too somber. Yet, maybe that's exactly the punch we need after 5 seasons of the show. So the person who might take the hit is honestly a very decisive debate. And if you check Reddit, it feels like the funeral number 2 might just boil down between Jamie and Beth. Jamie and Beth Dutton have been in constant conflict throughout Yellowstone, and the finale of Season 5 could take a dark turn by potentially eliminating one of them. There are some strong reasons for either sibling to meet a grim fate, especially given Beth's determination to send Jamie to the train station and Jamie's history with violence. The significance of both characters to the Duttons' plans means that if one or both of them were to die, it could create a huge void, possibly leading to the downfall of the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch and drastically changing the Dutton family as viewers know it. In the case Beth doesn't make it to the next season, her storyline would also create an exciting avenue for Rip Wheeler. He might not make it to the position of patriarch of the ranch with Jamie around, but he would sure want to honor Beth's legacy. So all in all, the dynamics between the clan can become super exciting for the most part. If Sheridan is looking to add a tragic touch to John's absence, then of course, offing Beth from the show seems like an obvious choice, but he might as well put down his pen for furthering the Rip Wheeler storyline. On the flip side, another surprising twist could see Jamie and Beth putting aside their differences and teaming up. With all the secrets Beth has about Jamie, she could leverage that information to bring him onto her side, potentially uniting the Dutton family once more and securing the future of the ranch. This resolution would also shift the spotlight onto the 2 siblings, which could help mitigate the impact of Kevin Costner's departure from the series. And honestly, it is about time that Yellowstone ends this rivalry. Time for some new exciting plot lines, don't you think? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with the next one.